All right, guys, so I'm going to tell you 3 things that's going to make you more successful and take all those nocturnal bucks you got on your trail cameras that you never see in daytime, and it's going to put them in daytime on your properties and get you a crack at them. Just like it did for me this year on a nice 12 point, just like it has for me the last 3 years. I've taken down a great buck last 4 bow seasons. Even got my 13-year-old to take down a great buck this season. All those nocturnal bucks, get them in daytime. And that's just on 5 acres on this farm, 14 acres at the other farm. Small properties in Wisconsin. You can get those nocturnal bucks moving there during the daytime. And we're going to talk about how to do it. I'm doing property consults. Number 1 problem, nocturnal bucks. Why are they nocturnal? A lot easier than what you think. 3 big reasons. We're going to go over them. Thanks for tuning in to Nate's Bowhunting. Let's get to it. If you love chasing big bucks, well, this is the channel for you. I don't own hundreds of thousands of acres. I didn't move out to Iowa. I hunt 2 small family farms here in Wisconsin. And we're going to talk about everything from food plots and hunting strategies to take down the biggest buck in your neighborhood. All right, guys, welcome back to Nate's Bowhunting. It's been a long stretch here. I always take a break come hunting season. I focus on hunting, not putting out videos. Now that hunting season's all done here in Wisconsin and Christmas is done, I take a little break. I got 3 boys, spend some time with the family for the holidays. But that's all over with now. We're coming into January. Bucks are shedding their antlers. Got a good idea what bucks have made it, what bucks haven't made it. Had some real nice 3.5-year-old deer make it, and then 2 4.5-year-old deer that made it. That'll be 5.5 next year that I'm excited to see. So it should be a great hunting season next year. I hope you guys had some bucks that made it. I released my season hunt. I ended up putting down a nice 12 point this season. Myth number 1, I can tell you guys right now, there is no such thing as a nocturnal buck. I don't care if it's a 230-inch state record buck. It's not nocturnal. We hunters make these big bucks nocturnal on your property. They're moving in daylight somewhere, someone's property. It might not be your property. Your property might be strictly nocturnal, like all kinds of properties I've done land consults on. Why? Because they smell human intrusion. They see you getting to your stand. They see you getting out of your stand. They're sitting back in the woods watching the young bucks and the does that look nervous every time they come out in your property because they smell human scent. They see you getting up and down your stand. They don't even have to see you. These big mature deer are watching the small bucks and the does, and they're watching their habits, knowing your property's not safe. So that's number 1. So that is the number 1 reason why bucks are nocturnal on your properties. Human pressure, human intrusion, human scent, everything related to human and you, the hunter, messing up your property. And hey, I'm not perfect. I used to mess up these properties. First couple of years hunting them, I had giant nocturnal bucks and I could not kill them, and I couldn't get them in daylight. And I'm thinking, oh, they're just nocturnal. No way you can kill them, right? Just like, you know, some guys believe that. Well, it's not true. It's how your property's set up, how you're hunting your property. And if your does aren't feeling safe for your small bucks, odds of getting a mature buck are slim to none, guys. So number 1 way to mess up your property, human intrusion. If it's your first time checking out the channel, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe, share the channel with someone. This channel is all about taking down big bucks on small properties. Not, you know, I don't have hundreds, thousands of acres. I'm not the guy that moved out to Iowa. 2 small family farms here in Wisconsin. And my passion is chasing mature bucks and getting my kids into chasing these mature bucks and doing everything I can to my property to make it the best I can. Put these mature bucks on my property in daytime hours. We're coming into January. We're getting back into hunting mode, getting ready for next season, doing some scouting of some food plots. I'm in a big buck contest here in Wisconsin. I stay in touch with a lot of guys that are almost always taking down big deer with their bows, and they failed to do so this year. It was a really tough season, guys. I don't know if it was just all the warm weather we had. You guys can drop a comment, share your thoughts what it was, but it was a tough season. Like I said, I had success, but I definitely had to work for it and didn't have the normal activity that I usually do. So drop a comment what you think there. Doing a bunch of land consultations. I started that December 1st. So I've already been to Michigan, Missouri, all over, got a bunch more lined up here. And I gotta say, the number one thing, in a lot of these properties I'm at, guys, they're a lot bigger than my property. I got 2 small family farms I hunt here. A lot of these properties I'm going to, 40 to 100 acres. And I can tell you right now, better properties than what I hunt. And these guys are failing to kill big deer. Why are they failing to kill big deer? It's not the property's fault. The biggest reason is how they're hunting that property and how they set it up. And top thing, and that's what this video is all about, is how to kill those nocturnal bucks. Every property I've done a land consult, guys have pictures, and I check with them before I even go out there. Do you get pictures of big bucks? If they say no, well, I'm not a magician. I can't pull a rabbit out of my hat and make big bucks appear on your property. If you don't have big bucks within a 5-mile radius, I prefer about a 3-mile radius. You know, unless you got a couple 100,000 acres where you can grow the deer herd, then it's a possibility you can get those younger deer into the older age class. If you just have small parcels under 100 acres like me, there's no way you can grow a deer herd by yourself without your neighbor's help. Nate, I get pictures of them. There's big deer here, but they're all nighttime. They don't move in daytime. They must be nocturnal, right? No. So we're gonna get to number 2, which kind of goes hand in hand with that. And number 2 is you gotta have security cover and you gotta have security food, whether it's an ag field or food plots or browse or all 3. I have all 3 on my properties. So if you have security cover and security food, you're gonna have good doe groups. Security cover, thick, nasty dogwood, willows, buckthorn, invasives. I don't care if it isn't invasive. If it's thick and it's security cover, big bucks love it. It's better than no cover at all. It's better than a wide open field. Some guys get carried away. Oh, I got buckthorn, it's invasive. I gotta rip it all out of there. They rip it all out of there. I come to their properties, they got a big open area that takes 5 years to get any kind of cover, and they just kind of shot themselves in the foot. Security cover. So that security cover is real thick, nasty cover. Thickets, willows, like I said, dogwood, buckthorn, some speckled alder, downbox elder trees, ditches, creeks, just that real thick, nasty stuff. You guys know what I'm talking about. If it's good rabbit hunting, it's good big buck hunting, that real thick, nasty areas. So not just any food plot, security food plot. Like I said, you're not even seeing these big bucks in daytime, guys. They're watching your does, and these little bucks come out in your food plots acting all nervous. They're not even gonna come out there in the daytime. They're gonna come out at night and walk by your cameras and tease you a little bit and say, yeah, here I am, I'm around. But they're not gonna come around during the daytime because they're smelling human intrusion. They're watching other deer's habits and their reactions when they're on your land. And they're seeing that they're not comfortable and that they're nervous because of human intrusion and scent. And you're pressuring those food plots. You're hunting right over those food plots. And those big bucks aren't going to come in during the day. I can guarantee it. You might get lucky one year. You might catch one on a doe running through in the daytime, but you're not going to kill bucks on a consistent basis. Security cover, security food, and holding does. And I hear so many bad things about these does. You got to kill does. Got to have a doe day. Buck to doe ratio 1-to-1. All this baloney. You guys hunt small properties. I can tell you what. If you're killing does off them, you're shooting yourself right in the foot. You're ruining your chances because they're going to go to your neighbors that has 20 does on their land during the rut. These big bucks are most vulnerable when they are on a doe. Last week of October through the 3rd week in November, when they're on a doe, they are more vulnerable than any time out of the year. I don't care what anybody says. So if you hold the does and those does feel safe on your property, 9 times out of 10, these big mature deer, 5.5, 6.5, 7.5, the only way guys get them to slip up is when they're on a doe. Hold the does, because the DNR gives you 5 doe tags, don't mean you got to shoot 5 does. Because you watch guys on Midwest Whitetail or some of these other shows, we're having a doe day, we're whacking 10 does. Don't mean you got to do it, especially you got small properties. I let my kids shoot a few does after the rut, gun season. Good target practice and some food for the boys. Get them, you know, shooting some does. Okay, better than shooting small bucks. You know, you want some meat, shoot does. Don't shoot little tiny bucks. You know, I want to fill the freezer, I'm a meat hunter, shoot some does, okay? But I'm not going to go on a rant about that too much, but it just, Kind of irks me to hear all the excuses people make for not taking down big deer because they're not hunting right. It's their hunting practices, so they just make excuses. You gotta have does on your property, guys, and your does gotta feel comfortable. And that's gonna get us to number 3. Number 3, guys, to shoot those nocturnal bucks you get on your cameras that you had all 2024 season that you can never connect with, you gotta hunt the right days. What are the right days, Nate? Well, I can tell you what the right days are. They're not in September for the most part, 99 times out of 100. October, I'm in the Midwest, I'm in Wisconsin. You get a real good cold front in October, you get your butt out in that stand. If you got a buck that's close to daylight, even if it's all night pictures, guess what? I shot a 7.5-year-old buck October 15th. First day he daylighted, I shot him. It was all night pictures. Had him since end of August. I put myself in that stand that first day. I figured he'd be in daylight, and guess what? He was. I shot him. The other buck I shot this year, the 12 point. First day I had him in daylight, I shot him. All night pictures. Because it was a really good cold front. These cold fronts, guys, pay attention to them. They will get those nocturnal bucks on their feet in the daytime if you're doing the other things correctly. If you have does, security cover, security food, and you're not over pressuring your property and you have proper access. These big bucks are gonna show up in daylight on your property. What else are the right days? Well, here in the Midwest, October 23rd, guess what? You guys start hunting mornings and evenings. Come Halloween, it's time you can start sitting all day sits. Halloween through November 15th, 16th, you can sit all days. If you got a stand that's safe getting in and out and the wind is right, the wind's always got to be right, guys, but you can sit all day. Then November 15th through November 22nd, it's back to mornings, mainly evenings, those last 2-3 hours. At least 2 hours of light, and let your cameras or your cell cameras tell you when it's safe to access. Obviously, if your deer are coming out at 3 o'clock, you got to get out at 2 o'clock so you're not bumping deer. You can't be bumping deer. But yeah, like November 15th to the November 22nd, you got to be hunting those evenings. I shot my 12 point early morning, actually. I shot my 12 point November 20th, 6:40 in the morning. And I had a doe in there, hold the does in there, got the security cover, security food, and that big boy comes sniffing through, and I caught him in the morning. Yeah, so you can get that morning movement by big bucks all the way up to, like, you know, end of November. You can get those big boys moving. So those first 2 hours and those last 2 hours are magical, guys. So we still got some season left, still some time. It's very tough right now, end of December, to take down a lot of these bucks. This time of year are strictly nocturnal because we're past those peak rut days. So many properties are burnt out from guys hunting them. It's very tough to have a property with the security cover and security food this time of year with all the foliage off the trees. So it's tough, but it can still be done. But mainly take these practices into account for next season, 2025 season, so you guys can have success. So I appreciate you guys watching the video, and I'm gonna try to get a video out every week now. Now that the holidays are done, hunting season's over, we're gonna do a lot of food plot updates we got coming, some screening updates. How did food plots do? I did purchase a redneck blind. I'm gonna do a review on that. It was great with the kids. My boys took 2 deer out of that blind this year. So lots of stuff coming up, guys. So I'm back in the game. Be putting videos out, try 2 every week here. So thanks for checking out the video. You're looking for a property consult, shoot me an email. I'll be out doing properties January through March. So now's the time to get in. Good time here to do it. You can see all the hunting season's pretty much over. You can see all the scrapes, all the rubs. Great time to set up your property to have a successful 2025 season and get those nocturnal bucks into daytime and get you guys a shot at them. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next week.